Hello, hello, hello. It's Will again, back at it. Another video, another day. Howdy. I'm here. I'm going to talk about a little bit of a topic. If you've never been here, I'm Will from the UK, and I think about things, feel things. So I'm going to make a video today about some of my thoughts and feelings. Thank you so much for being along for the ride. So, what I'm going to talk about today is the burden of existing. So, I've been thinking about this a lot in terms of like weight loss, because I've talked about this bit. I've been on like a bit of a weight loss journey so far. Lost about 14.7 kilograms, which is in 11 weeks, which is quite a lot. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. And I guess I just think about like wellness and well-being, right? And like what it means to like lead a good life, right? And when I reflect on that, I don't know if you guys think about this, but like I think, well, what are the things that are good for you and like promote well-being? Meditation, journaling, going to the gym, being in nature, eating fruits and vegetables, cooking food fresh. There's so many things to do to be healthy, right? And then it makes me think, that's a lot, right? That's a big burden. It's a burden in a way, right? Emotionally, I think initially I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of things to do all the time, right? And I think when I think about like habit change, right? And I think about like changing, I think initially we're very resistant to change as humans. Like I know I am. Like I'm a creature of habit. I like to crunch out the same stuff all the time. Somehow I got in the gym when I was a bit younger, and I'm really fortunate about that because like I love going to the gym, but I go in and I do the same thing over and over again. I changed for a bit, and then I got on Manjaro, and I think that changed a few things for me then, and then I went back to comfort, because that's what happens when things change and there's a degree of stress in our lives. We lean into comfort. I do that anyway. So when I think about the burden of existing, right, I'm thinking of like adding things that add to my well-being on top, right? And I saw this video a while ago. I can't remember what it was even called, but it was like some guys like doing literally all of the wellness things you could do, and it was like literally their entire days of just like doing cold plunges and journaling and getting 10k steps and like running a mile and having UV light shot in their face in the morning and all this stuff, right? And it was just making me think about like how high maintenance we are as humans in all the things we need to be like fairly healthy. And unless you like love doing that stuff, like it can be really tough. And I think I really empathize with a lot of people that really struggle to build healthy habits because they get a lot out of their unhealthy habits, me being one of those people, right? I like became a video game addict because like I enjoyed it, right? It was fun. I liked playing good video games I felt were good. Unfortunately, League of Legends was one of them. But it's so easy to like find things that are really enjoyable, and then in my opinion everything relative to that becomes a burden, or feels like a burden, or feels harder to do and engage with, because we're like, I could just be doing the fun thing instead. But then the fun thing, playing video games, eating junk food, tuning, whatever, doesn't fuel us to then feel positive about our life, the things we're doing after. We could face cultural judgment from our families and our friends, and then the changes feel like a burden, right? And I think a big part of my personal arc has basically been really emotionally accepting, and you could even say gaslighting myself into believing that like doing the good things is the best, is the fun thing. It's the fun thing. Doing the boring thing is the fun thing. And I think for a long time I was really struggling to accept that. I think there are a few ideas that are really kind of permeated in my brain right now that really reinforced this idea and this topic for me. I think the Puero Aeternis, shout out to Dr. K, Healthy Gamer, Dr. Alok Kanoja, he's great, big fan, about this Pueris Aeternis, about this like forever child that wants just fun and to avoid responsibility and to avoid burden. And like for me, I felt that, and I think I always try now consciously to like challenge that default state that I fall into of avoiding responsibility, avoiding burden, resisting the idea of growing up, because I guess I feel I'm getting to a point in my life, I'm 30, where I feel like I need deeper meaning than just surface fun, right? Like I have a fair amount of surface fun, but I think it's starting to feel a bit hollow for me. And I'm really excited about this actually, because it's helping me not play as many video games. But that might also just be because now I get more enjoyment out of a wider range of activities. I go and play pool with my wife. I like that. That's fun. And it's not in front of a screen. I like walking. I really like walking at the moment. Sometimes I just wander out for a long while, man, and I get some really good steps in. And I've always loved being in nature. But I think when I'm bigger, and I think it's harder to do that just because it feels more exhausting and like I have to push myself for more willpower, that makes it feel like a burden, right? Because I've got to expend more energy. I've got to push myself harder. I've got to go out there knowing I'm going to get out of breath and I might be sweaty and I might feel gross, and then I'm expecting or assuming people are judging me and I'm getting self-conscious because of that. And like, I'm still a big dude. I'm not a small dude, but like, I'm so much happier that I can move. I can run up and down my stairs. I'm on the top floor here, 3-story house. First floor, second floor, third floor, or ground floor, first floor, second floor. And it's amazing that I can just go up and down the stairs and it's fine. And like, that means a lot to me. And the losing weight is reducing how burdensome my experience feels, right? Because I guess historically the burden of existing to me felt like I've got this pool of energy, right? This bar, this mana bar, and existing is like all of my tasks are multiplied up to take up more of this mana bar, right? So I've got like 10 points, and like walking up the stairs might have costed 1 point of my full day mana, right? So that's like 10% of all my energy to just go and get this thing in the other room. I don't want to do that. I'm going to put that off, right? But as I've lost some weight and continue to lose weight, that now might be 0.1 of a mana point in my mana bar, right? It's a 10th of the amount of energy it cost previously. So it's like, yeah, man, I could do this like now. It's like hardly any energy. Let's go. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's really cool to have things feel less like a burden, because I guess I feel like I've done a lot of emotional work and physical work. I've lost a bunch of weight before. 2-3 years ago, I lost 30 kilos and then I put it all back on. I've been in cycles. So I feel less optimistic about it being permanent, but I'm glad that I'm getting more energy and I feel like I can go more. And that's reducing the burden of existing for me. It's helping me feel more like a member of my community. It's helping me feel like I can engage with people more, and just more people in general, because like otherwise life just feels like a burden, like a cutscene I'm trying to skip in a video game, aggressively hitting the skip button so I can get back to the gameplay, which is the fun part, which is ironically playing another game. But it's not taking on the responsibility. It's not seeking the deeper meaning that I think, because of my environment, my upbringing has taught me. I was raised in a family of Pueris Aeternis. They're all still Pueris Aeternis. They're not a huge fan of taking on responsibility. That's not a thing I feel I see in my family. There's resentment towards responsibility, I feel, and I think that soaks into my head too, and like I have to like navigate that so I can be like responsible with myself and feel like I'm actually growing in a way that like really nourishes me on a deeper level, not just a surface balm for the wound, more a hey, let's have life not feel like a burden. Let's like get to do things instead of have to do things. and I feel like I've taken some steps down that road. I get to go to the gym. I fucking love going to the gym. I love it. It's great. Big fan. It's so cool. It's so cool. That's wild for me to say, but I love it. I love it. And I guess I hope I just get to do more things. And for me, like the whole gratitude thing really didn't like land because everything felt so expensive, right? Like, yeah, I can be grateful for spending a whole mana point going upstairs, but like when I feel I don't have enough energy, that feels terrible. And now I have more energy, I can be more grateful because things cost less. So those are my thoughts on the burden of existing. I've been Will. You've been wonderful. Appreciate you. Good luck with your burden of existing. Take care of yourself. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe.